Welcome back everyone, and if you're new here, thank you for tuning in. Today we're diving into a major financial update that's making waves across South Africa. We're talking about the SASSA 2110 grant for June 2025. Who qualifies, how it's distributed, what changes have been made, and why this could be one of the most impactful payments of the year. Whether you're a recipient of a SASSA grant, someone hoping to apply, or simply want to stay informed about social development updates, this is a story that could affect millions and offers potential lifelines during difficult economic times. So don't go anywhere. This isn't just another update. It's one you really don't want to miss out on. Let's start with the basics. The South African Social Security Agency, better known as SASSA, has been a vital institution in distributing grants to vulnerable and low-income individuals and families for years. Each month, millions rely on the various grant programs offered by SASSA to make ends meet, and that support is especially crucial now with inflation biting and unemployment remaining stubbornly high in some sectors. For June 2025, the announcement of an 2110 grant has sent many into a flurry of questions. Who qualifies? Is this a new grant? Is it a temporary boost? Is it permanent? And perhaps most importantly, how do you make sure you don't miss out? To understand how we got to this point, we have to consider the broader context. South Africa has been undergoing economic challenges that affect everything from food prices to transportation costs. For millions of citizens, especially those who are unemployed or underemployed, the monthly SASSA grant has become a lifeline, and any changes to its amount or eligibility criteria can mean the difference between affording basic needs or falling short. That's why this 2110 figure for June has grabbed so much attention. This isn't just a continuation of the R350 SRD grant. We're talking about a more expanded initiative that seems to bring together multiple considerations, including inflation adjustments and expanded eligibility criteria. The 2110 payment for June is part of what government officials are calling a social relief boost initiative, one that combines both economic necessity and political will. According to several reliable sources, including the Department of Social Development, this new figure isn't just random. It's been calculated based on the Consumer Price Index, food basket inflation, and other household needs data. Essentially, they're trying to make the grant more meaningful and aligned with the actual cost of living. That means the grant amount is being brought up to a level that can truly cover more than just the basics, aiming to help people afford food, transport, electricity, and other essentials. Now let's talk eligibility. This is one of the most pressing questions people have. Not everyone who currently receives a SASSA grant will automatically receive the 2110 amount. The government has introduced some updated criteria that aim to prioritize the most vulnerable households, while still expanding access compared to previous years. From what we are seeing, the eligible categories include unemployed individuals who are actively seeking work, informal workers with inconsistent income, single-parent households with no formal income, and persons with disabilities who don't already receive a disability grant. That's a big shift, and it could bring in thousands of new applicants who were previously excluded due to income thresholds or documentation gaps. Age also plays a role. The June 2025 grant is open to South African citizens between the ages of 18 and 59, the age group most impacted by unemployment and income insecurity. For older individuals, the regular older persons grant still applies, and for children, the child support grant remains in place. However, for that prime working age group who are still struggling to find employment, this 2110 grant could provide significant relief. One thing to note, though, if you're already receiving another full SASSA grant like the disability grant, foster child grant, or older persons grant, you likely won't qualify for the 2110 June grant in addition. This is to prevent duplication and ensure the limited budget is used as effectively as possible. That being said, there are reports suggesting that the June grant could be a pilot for a more permanent universal basic income system in South Africa. Government officials have been hinting at such a program for some time now, especially as global trends shift towards social protection systems that offer more robust monthly support for vulnerable groups. While the R350 SRD grant has been in place for several years, it hasn't grown meaningfully in value to match inflation, which is why this 2110 figure feels like such a significant jump. It's a signal, perhaps, that the government is testing the waters for something much more comprehensive. So, what do you need to do to get this grant? Well, if you're already a SASSA beneficiary, you don't need to reapply from scratch. SASSA will assess current records and notify those who qualify for the upgraded 2,110 amount via SMS or through their online portal. However, if you're new to the system or believe you now meet the eligibility requirements due to a change in your circumstances such as recent job loss or a significant drop in income, you'll need to submit a new application. The good news is that the process has become more streamlined. You can apply online through the official SASSA Services website or by visiting your local SASSA office. Be sure to bring identification, proof of income, or lack thereof, and a mobile number linked to your identity number for verification and communication purposes. It's also important to avoid misinformation. There are already reports of scam messages and fake websites claiming to fast-track your SASSA application in exchange for a fee. Don't fall for it. SASSA does not charge any fees for applications or verifications. Everything is done through their official channels. If you're ever unsure, contact SASSA directly through their toll-free number or visit a verified office. Always double-check your sources and never share your ID or banking information with unverified third parties. Distribution of the grant will follow a familiar pattern, with staggered payment dates based on categories to avoid long queues and overloading the system. The first group expected to receive the 2,110 will be unemployed individuals with no other income. These recipients are often prioritized as they have no other financial support. Payments are expected to start rolling out from the first week of June, with text notifications being sent at least 48 hours in advance. Payment options include direct bank deposit, the SASSA card, and cash collection points for those who don't have access to bank accounts. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Some economic experts are saying this could be a turning point for social development in South Africa. Why? Because a higher grant doesn't just help individuals, it injects money into local economies. When people receive more money, they spend it on food, transportation, school supplies, and other goods from local businesses. This stimulates microeconomic activity and creates a ripple effect. In poor communities especially, one person's grant becomes someone else's income. And with a significant increase like this 2,110 payment, the positive effects could be even more pronounced. That's not to say there aren't concerns. Critics are raising questions about the sustainability of this increased amount. Where is the money coming from? Can the government afford to keep issuing such large grants every month? Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana has stated that while the June payment is budgeted for within the current fiscal year, the longer-term future of the grant will depend on revenue collection, economic growth, and whether structural reforms in the labor market can reduce overall dependency. But for now, the message is clear: the grant is coming, and it's real. Eligible South Africans should prepare to take advantage of it. There's also the broader political context to consider. With elections looming in 2026, many are seeing this move as not only an economic decision but a strategic one. Providing relief to citizens in a tangible way boosts public trust, especially in marginalized communities where past promises haven't always translated into action. This time, the delivery of a meaningful financial boost could have far-reaching implications, not just for economic stability but also for social cohesion. When people feel heard and supported, they're more likely to engage positively with democratic institutions. Let's not forget the psychological impact of financial support like this. For someone who's been unemployed for months or even years, receiving a meaningful grant like a 2,110 can do more than just help with groceries or rent. It provides dignity. It gives people the breathing room to think about their next move without being in a constant state of panic. Many recipients use their grants to upskill, to travel for job interviews, or even to start micro businesses. The ripple effects of a grant like this go far beyond the obvious. SASSA has also introduced more digital support to help people check their status and application progress online. The SASSA website now includes a My Status tab where you can log in using your ID number and mobile number to track your application and payment history. There's also an option to update your banking details and contact information in case anything has changed. This kind of transparency and digital accessibility is a step in the right direction, helping reduce queues at physical offices and improving the overall efficiency of the system. Another crucial point is how this grant affects those in the informal economy. Many South Africans work in informal sectors selling goods, offering services, and hustling daily without contracts or UIF support. These individuals often fall through the cracks of traditional social safety nets. By making the 2110 grant accessible to informal workers with irregular income, the government is acknowledging the real economic landscape of the country. It's a move toward inclusivity, recognizing that poverty and financial instability aren't limited to just the unemployed. If you're watching this and wondering whether you should apply, the answer is simple. If you're between 18 and 59, not receiving another major SASSA grant, and currently facing financial difficulty, you should absolutely apply. Don't wait. The window for June applications is already open, and while the government has committed to processing all valid applications, earlier submissions often lead to faster payouts. If you or someone you know could benefit from this grant, help them apply. Share this information with your community, neighbors, and loved ones. No one should be left behind because they didn't know. So, as we wrap up this detailed look at the SASSA 2110 June 2025 grant, let's summarize the most important takeaways. This is a real, budgeted government initiative aimed at providing economic relief to South Africans in the most need. Eligibility includes unemployed adults, informal workers, single-parent households, and people with disabilities not currently receiving other grants. The payment amount of a 2110 reflects current cost of living data and could be a step toward a more permanent universal basic income solution. Applications can be made online or at local SASSA offices, and no fees are involved. Payments begin in early June, and recipients will be notified directly through official SASSA channels. We'll be keeping an eye on the story and bringing you updates as they happen. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I do my best to read every single one. And if this video helped you or someone you care about, give it a like so more people see it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update on SASSA grants, economic changes, and support resources. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and take care.